So I saw Star Wars at drive-in theater when I was 6 years old, and I was inspired by what I saw, and I was inspired by the weathered Star Wars universe and the realism of it all, and how those things were done. And you know, through school and seeing the subsequent movies and further into my life, I got more interested in how those things were done. So I started researching and looking into building some of the Star Wars universe for myself. I started building full Stormtrooper, the white Stormtrooper armor. Started with the helmet and then moved into the body armor. Then along the way you meet people who are building different things, and I got very involved there. I'm very detail oriented, and so some of the things that were available that you could get online or in model kits just weren't good enough for what I wanted to do, and so I started developing my own things, and I made some kits and parts and ended up selling those all over the world. In fact, I made a kit that goes on the inside of a Stormtrooper helmet to detailing the interior out, and sold enough of those to fund a trip to London. At that point I had finished building R2D2. We crated R2 up and took him to London to Star Wars Celebration. It's like a Comic-Con, but it's only Star Wars, and they have those once a year in a different major city around the world. In that particular year it happened to be in London, so we took R2 to London, met a lot of the original actors. I got to meet Mark Hamill and Kenny Baker and Anthony Daniels, and they actually autographed the back panel on R2D2. They estimate that there's about 1,000 completed droids made by fans. And it's interesting because for each Star Wars movie, ILM did 4 to 5 R2D2s. Mm-hmm. And each one had a specific, you know, one would drive really well, one looked good in close-ups, you know, one had really good lights, another one may have, you know, doors and, you know, things that are automated. And so they use those interchangeably, and if you watch really close, especially now with Blu-ray and you freeze frame, you can spot the differences between the droids within the same movie. When I finished, I took pictures, you know, from the front and the back and the sides, and detail close-ups, and sent them in to Lucasfilm. And I wasn't really expecting a response, but about 6 months later I got a letter from Lucasfilm explaining that they had gone through my pictures and that everything on this droid was screen accurate, and so they went ahead and registered me